Good morning, everyone. My message this morning is on wisdom. When I was studying for this, message, wisdom to me was just like a knowledge, a knowing. But wisdom is so much more. If we go into some of the original translations of the Bible in Greek, wisdom translates to skill. Wisdom is also it comes from the root word philosophia, which is the love or the pursuit of wisdom. Then there's also understanding or practical wisdom. That's pharonius. That is the love of wisdom. Solomon had a love of wisdom. And then there's numerous more translations or explanations of wisdom. For example, unsearchable refers to God's perfect wisdom. We don't understand fully the wisdom of God. We cannot grasp the wisdom of God. And then there's also a few more that are verbs, like giving wisdom. But I want to focus on the wisdom that God gave Solomon. I'll read 1 Kings 4, 29 to 34. And God gave Solomon wisdom and exceedingly great understanding, and largeness of heart like the sand on the seashore. Thus Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the men of the East and all the wisdom of Egypt. Remember, Egypt had in those days, Egypt's philosophers, they were the smartest minds of the secular world of that time. And Solomon's wisdom was greater than all the wisdom of Egypt. For he was wiser than all men, than Ethan the Ezrahite, than Heman, Chakol, Darba, the sons of Mihal, and his fame was in all the surrounding nations. He spoke 3,000 proverbs. Those are gifts to us to this day. And his songs were 1,005. He also spoke of trees, from the cedar tree of Lebanon, even to the hyssop that springs out of the wall. He spoke also of animals, of birds, of creeping things, and of fish. And all men and men of all nations, from the kings of the earth who had heard of his wisdom, came to hear the wisdom of Solomon. The wisdom of Solomon is in my favorite writings of Solomon come from Proverbs. All throughout Proverbs, it talks about his wisdom. And that wisdom is something we should continually search and seek so that we would understand what God has, because that wisdom came from God. It was God's heart. He shared with Solomon. Solomon was the wisest man. In Ecclesiastes 7, 11, and 12, it says, wisdom is good with an inheritance and profitable to those who see the sun. I took that as, to those who see the sun, that's everyone. I think that means everyone. For wisdom is a defense as money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. Wisdom gives life to those who have it. And we have that wisdom through the Holy Spirit. That gifting is ours. There's a few more of the Proverbs. I mean, Proverbs is filled with wisdom, filled with that that wisdom that I was talking about, the love or pursuit of wisdom, that's all throughout the Proverbs. Proverbs 3:19. Proverbs 3:19 through 19 through 23. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and the clouds dropped down the dew. Do we understand the wisdom that God has? When he created in Genesis, where Moses talks about the creation of the earth, I think sometimes we discount the wisdom, the knowledge, the knowing of God. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't that he just spoke something out, and mountains arose. He knew what it took. Every self, every being he knew, down to the molecular level. He understood. He understands everything. And in that wisdom, he founded the earth. He separated the depths, made oceans, rose mountains. Continuing there, my son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so that they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk safely in the way, and your foot will not stumble. That's talking about if we have wisdom, we will not stumble. I'm also going to read Proverbs 4, the security that we have in wisdom. Proverbs 4, starting at verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget, nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her. She will place on your head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory she will deliver to you. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in the right paths. God is the giver of wisdom. There is wisdom, there's worldly wisdom, but the wisdom that we have is only given by God. It's the Holy Spirit ministering through us, leading us in new wisdom. And as Solomon was revealing the heart of God in Proverbs, there's so many small single verse. Wow. Like, whoa. There's so many moments where it's like a single verse. Whereas if you go through, let's say, Matthew, Mark, Luke, there's, verse after verse where it ties in. But Proverbs has individual verses where it talks about the righteous, the fool, where it's a single snippet that talks about the wisdom that was given by Solomon. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. So the wicked don't have the strength. They don't have the knowledge, and they live in fear, and they flee when no one is pursuing them. 28:6. Proverbs 28:6. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one perverse in his ways, though he be rich. What is greater in this world? Riches, fame, power. If we don't strive to be righteous and upright Christians, and we get caught up in the snares of the promises of riches, it warns right there. Then one perverse in his ways, though he be rich. 28:13. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but he who confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. 28:6. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but he who ever walks wisely will be delivered. Going back to what I was talking about, wisdom. In Proverbs 4:7, get wisdom, get understanding. That understanding comes from seeking without ceasing God. Seek the face of God. Seek his will for your life, and he will give you understanding. A few more here out of Proverbs 29. A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. 29, verse 23. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. And then the final one, the fear of, verse 25 in chapter 29. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. Whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. And I believe that trust in the Lord is where wisdom is found. The wisdom that I was talking about is understanding, that practical wisdom. So I just want to encourage everyone to continue to seek and to seek that wisdom. And let's remember to read Proverbs. It's God's heart. It's his as I had read in 1 Kings, Solomon was the wisest man. It's God's wisdom poured out onto pages in Proverbs. Let's just continue to seek. That's all I have.